health and dairy sector. Would you please like to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, so thank you, Amna, for having us. My name is Noor Aftab. I'm the Director for Corporate Affairs for Middle East, North Africa and Pakistan. And with me I have Mohammed.
So I am representing sustainability at Tetra Pak Pakistan, looking after all the initiatives that pertain to protect our environment. So that's it.
Okay, let's discuss with some pointers. Firstly, I would like to ask you that what are your opinions about the dairy climate nutrition nexus, given that Pakistan's dairy contributes almost 11% to GDP, yet it emits 7% of national GHGs, and this was a report done by FAO in 2023. So what are your thoughts about this?
Dikha, I think when you look at the case of dairy in Pakistan, it's a very unique sort of situation that we face because we are considered, you quoted UNFAO, so as per the UNFAO only we are the fourth largest milk producing country in the world, and yet we're a net importer of dairy and dairy products. So I think there's a huge gap in terms of a lot of packaging and processing impediments that need to be resolved. And I think that's extremely important, and then only then can we sort of start addressing the circular economy or the circularity or sort of the GHG emissions that are carried out at the livestock level. So I think it's a major contributor towards GDP. I think it has a massive potential of even going much beyond that, but provided certain impediments are resolved and certain sort of procedural issues are resolved, only then can we achieve that level where we start looking at the circular economy bit, etc. So even if you look at just one very small example is the fodder that is given to the livestock. If the quality of the fodder does not improve, then the GHG emissions will continue to remain high. So these are just very few small things that if we manage to do, we can control the GHG levels. And STPI knows this better than us, but all other aspects with a more affected sort of country as opposed to creating the problem, we're actually the ones facing the problem of climate change.
So Mohammed, I will ask that how circularity, for example, waste to energy and then efficient packaging system, which Tetra Pak is already doing, supports climate and nutrition goals, if we talk about Tetra Pak exclusively.
I think to answer this, whatever we do as Tetra Paks represents our brand promise that I am also referring to numerous amount of times in my previous dialogues, is to protect what's good. And if I specifically talk about the daily part of it, so it starts from the farm, then it goes to the hidden middle. We call this term as hidden middle. That includes that part of the agri value chain, that includes packaging, processing, and finally giving it to our customer to the packet and then give it to the consumer. So that part represents more than 50 to 60% of the entire value chain. But when we look at the financing that is happening in that part of the value chain, that is very less. So there is a mismatch between the financing that is required to make this hidden middle the way it should be looking like. But having said that, with these challenges, there are lots of opportunities. For example, there can be an industrial symbiosis where the organic waste or the dairy waste from the dairy processing plants can be repurposed into organic fertilizers and manures, which can then be used to produce biogas as well, which would be a replacement of electricity. So it would be a simple replacement of a fossil fuel based source, and hence relying less on those commodities which are very much affected globally and they're very volatile. So that's another one area that the industry can work on. Then we also talked about the inclusion of the farmers and making them into cooperatives and into a formal system where they can contribute not only the economic part of this value chain but also the environmental part of it. We can also work on solarizing the cold storages. Currently, this cold storage chain in Pakistan is very inefficient, and that's where Tetra Pak packaging plays a very vital role in making sure that the milk product, which is highly perishable, sensitive, gets packed into a packaging with a shelf life of more than 6 months to a year. So if we can make this cold chain more renewable, more solarized, more efficient, then it can also help us save the emission. Then comes our customer factories. They have their processing lines, water intensive, energy intensive. So we give them solutions around that, which will help not only reduce their footprint but their costs as well. And that also adds to the circular economy. And lastly, the post-consumer stage, which I am very passionate about, is my core area of expertise. And how that packaging that is designed for recycling is actually recycled. So that's what we are demonstrating in Pakistan.
Okay, that's very interesting to hear from you. Mr. Noor, how the 18% GST on packaged milk affects consumer access in formal sector growth? What are your thoughts about it?
Anji, I think so. Pakistan has been struggling with formal or informal, or let's say safe milk or loose unsafe milk. This particular aspect for the last 20-25 years, and the market share remains to be the same at 95-5.